unseen forces, the unspoken hurts that are, slowly chipping away at their foundation?
Yeah.
And can they truly navigate those treacherous waters?
Mhm.
Or are they doomed to sink?
I think those are the questions Van Rooyen wants us to grapple with. I mean,
Yeah,
he doesn't give us easy answers. He doesn't tell us whether they make it.
right.
He leaves us to contemplate the complexities of their journey and draw our own conclusions. That image of the ghost ship, really stayed with me. It's like the perfect ending to this whole collection because it doesn't tie things up neatly.
Right.
It just leaves you with this lingering sense of uncertainty, of wondering, well, what happens next?
It is powerful, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, after all that turmoil, all those attempts to reconcile,
Uh-huh.
we end with this feeling of drifting, of not knowing if they'll make it.
Right.
And that's so true to life, right? I mean, relationships, they aren't always black and white. It's
Well,
not always, happily ever after or tragic ending. There's a lot of gray area in between.
it's like Van Rooyen is saying, I've shown you their journey, their struggles. Now it's up to you to decide what you think happens next.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes this collection so impactful. It's not just about one couple's story.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing these universal patterns in our own lives.
I completely agree. I mean, whether we've, experienced a relationship like this ourselves or witnessed it in others, there's something so relatable about the themes that Van Rooyen explores.
Yeah.
That longing for connection, the sting of betrayal, the struggle to communicate, the hope for something better.
As we were going through these poems, I kept thinking about our own museums of worst moments.
Oh, yeah.
Those hurts we hold on to, the arguments we replay in our heads. It's like we're curating these exhibits of pain.
Yeah.
And it ends up creating all this distance between us and the people we care about.
It's so easy to get caught up in those cycles, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
And I think Van Rooyen is, well, he's challenging us to ask ourselves, are those museums serving us? Or are they just weighing us down?
And even more importantly, how can we break free from those patterns? It seems like communication is a huge part of it, like being honest with ourselves and our partners about what we're feeling, even when it's difficult.
I think that's one of the biggest takeaways from The Fracture of Bloom. It's not a guidebook on how to have a perfect relationship.
Right.
Because, well, those don't exist.
Yeah, exactly.
But it makes us think about, the choices we make, the ways we communicate, and how those things can, well, build us up or tear us down.
It's like Van Rooyen is holding up a mirror to our own relationships.
Yeah.
Encouraging us to take a closer look at the cracks in our own foundations,
Uh-huh.
to ask ourselves those tough questions about what we're holding on to, what we need to let go of, and how we can truly connect with the people we love.
And sometimes letting go means acknowledging that, well, not all relationships are meant to last. That
Mhm.
sometimes the bravest act of love is accepting that it's time to move on,
Right.
to step out of the wreckage and find our own way.
That's beautifully put, and I think it's a great note to end on. The Fracture of Bloom. It's a powerful reminder that relationships are complex.
Yeah.
They're messy
Mm.
and often heartbreaking, but they're also full of beauty, growth, and that potential for profound connection.
Absolutely.
And as we navigate those choppy waters, it's so important to remember that we're not alone.
We're not.
The patterns we see in these poems,
Yeah.
the struggles, the hopes, they're all part of the human experience.
So as you go about your day, maybe think about what you would add to your own museum of worst moments, and what it would take to let some of those exhibits go. It's a challenging process, but one that can ultimately lead to healing and growth.
Thank you for diving deep with us into the